Happy Halloween. Yeah. Like I said on my Instagram story, which you should check out, for YouTube stuff in general, thoughts of mine. I said I was gonna show off and do a full test. I have done just a costume test, but I thought I'd do a full test for my final. It's unguaranteed YouTube video for Halloween, and you can probably tell what I am. Dan, I've said it a couple times. I'm the big bad wolf, because the internet doesn't like when you say his real name. From Puss in Boots. Here's my sickles. They are ginormous. I didn't think they were going to be this big, but hey, it's cartoonish. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but here I am. I put in some spray on hair dye. I put on some makeup, and which, you know, I don't know, it's cream makeup, so I might get something different. I know it looks more like a star than a skull, but I thought I don't know. You can tell I've never done makeup for any sort of costume before. Now there's makeup on my thing because it's not settled. It's still wet. So yeah, let's just do a little thing. Obviously, the poncho. It was like oval shaped, so I just cut it. So it was like the actual triangle shape of the thing. You got my shirt, the nice little. You can see my tits. I'm not gonna. I can't really move you down because. Little fun fact: I broke my fucking tripod ring light before this, and it broke off right where the ring light place where you put your phone, and the actual tripod itself broke because I have been using this for a year, I think. That and I just fucking snapped it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a new one. So that's another thing I have to buy, even though I don't want to spend my money. Anyway, so yeah, here it is. Actually, I can show it off right here. Look at that. I'll get some full body shots on Halloween. And then you got my gloves and the gauntlets. Overall, I spent like $200 on this. And I'll probably spend more once I get my next paycheck so I can get some better makeup and more hairspray. So yeah, it's barely holding on. I had to use some masking tape. Go. Hopefully this works. All right, so yeah, here's my Halloween costume. I think I'm far enough where I can like negate any sort of, you know, severe consequences. I'm Death from Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish. One of the best movies that came out last year. I think it was December. I saw it January of this year. So, it's the most topical costume I'll probably ever do. So yeah. So yeah, actually, let's just get to the video because it's late. I have work tomorrow. I got a closing shift both Saturday and Sunday, so I have a long weekend ahead of me, and hopefully next week's gonna be easier because it's Halloween and the first days of November. So yeah, as you saw in the title, I'm going to be covering Evil Dead Rise. So yeah. I finally watched a video. I finally watched a movie for a Halloween special in a timely fashion, even though I watched it today. So yeah, that was sort of a me thing going on because it's been a hard Halloween for me. So yeah, Halloween. See, you can see him scatterbrained. Evil Dead Rise. It's really good. It's really good. I've heard nothing but praise for it. It has the best opening title sequence in any sort of movie. It's pretty close to being a perfect horror movie. Of course, in my eyes, there's no perfect horror movie. Horror movies are very specific and, far spaced out genre that there is no one specific movie in horror that could be said to be the horror movie. Unlike just movies in general, which I still think is the Batman. That is my personal and valued belief is a perfect horror movie. It's very hot in my room, so this is kind of uncomfortable. But I gotta keep up the fucking costume, because besides it being warm in my room because of there's two certain reptilians, I feel confident. It's a very confident look, or feeling look, So yeah. Let's get to the movie. So obviously, like I mentioned, it has the best cold open title sequence, whatever you want to call it. It's we actually get an answer for what exactly happened. Of course, it's not a big one, and it doesn't explain everything, but it explains what happened and that why it happened. You get me? So yeah. So we open up on just your typical Evil Dead like forest running through ghostly thing until we get to the lake, and it's just some dickhead scaring his girlfriend's cousin, because that's what happened. And then she's like, "Fuck off, you drunk prick," and she goes back to the cabin where her cousin is, and she's seemingly sick. So she's like, "Alright, if anything more annoying happens, then I'm taking your car and I'm leaving." So she just sits down and starts reading a book, but then her cousin gets up and starts reading the book while having her back face away from her. So she's like, I'm actually not sure if I got any hair dye on the back of my hair. So blah blah blah, stupid books shit. Sort of like that. Fucking skeleton. Yeah, if you also saw, I changed up my my signature action figure display over here. As you can tell, there's no more tail. There's no tail over here from the Indominus Rex. She's over there. She's a bit too loose to be over here anymore. So yeah, of course, because of that, I found some action figures I wouldn't mind putting over here. But some of them are also a bit loose when it comes to their feet. So yeah. But then she just stops, falls off the side of the bed, and her cousin, the main character in this situation, she goes over, checks on her, and then she starts getting choked, and then she actually made a previous comment about the boyfriend, and he's like, fucking meat suit or whatever. And so the cousin grabs her hair and says, "Let's see who the meat suit now is," and pulls her fucking scalp off. Of course, we cut off after some screaming. We get to the boyfriend, who's just pissing off the side of the pier. And then the main character goes over, and she's like, and she's sad and terrified, as she should be. Her seemingly sick cousin tore off the top of her head. She's like, help me, please." And he's like, "Oh no, what's wrong? Let me put my cock away." And then the cousin comes over, grabs the drone he had, slams it into her face, not the boyfriend, her face. Falls into the lake. The boyfriend jumps in after her. She fucking kills him and dismembers him, throws her head back onto the pier. And then we all know this, she comes out of the water floating, just like convulsing in a sort of angelic pose. And then fucking title sequence. Boom, bam, there it is, end. That's the end of the cold open. And then we cut to the main character of the story. I don't remember any of their names. Except Al, the mother, the main possessee. So yeah. We see our main character, she's a guitar technician, which is exactly how it sounds. She fixes the guitar. She's very mechanical like her sister. But she's having a bit of a rough patch because she's pregnant. Whatever happened, she's now pregnant, and she's sort of scared about that. So she comes to her sister Al and meets her 3 kids. You got Cass, the youngest one, Danny, who might be trans. I think it's basically confirmed. I'm not sure in what way, but there's no need to exactly saying that. And then you got the fucking the responsible one. I'm gonna call her that, the responsible one. And then you got Elle, the main character's sister, who's the older one, and she's sort of the responsible one. We also get introduced to her as she's also fixing up some electronic shit. She's doing that. Danny's playing with a music fucking thing. They're like a DJ and whatever. Cass is sort of like fucking cutting up toys like Sid from Toy Story and making shit. And then during this introduction to all our characters, we get introduced to 3 items. Well, we'll see, there's a couple more that's actually important to the story, but when I was watching this, I noticed this immediately. I knew that, these are going to be used to kill people. First, it's the scissors that Elle was going to use. Then, Cass, she's making toy fucking shit. It was like a wooden pole. And the responsible one is like messing around, and then she accidentally breaks it, and now it's really sharp. So that happens, and then them and Danny all go together. I forgot I had makeup on. Damn it. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I'm just gonna grab the entire thing. It's hard to walk around here. Alright. Okay, there we go. Yep. Kinda looks bloody. Go. That's better. Right, the right nostril's very itchy. So yeah, they're having fun, and then that's when the main character comes in. She knocks on the door. Elle comes in. She spooks her because we gotta have a jump scare. It's not bad. I thought it was gonna be like, Elle's already possessed and she's gonna she's freaking out already. But no, it's just her sister. Then they come in, they all meet each other. The main character has gifts for everyone, including the father, who got divorced and now is gone. Because, gotta have a divorce representation. These boots are very long. I was sort of like, I was kind of worried that they were going to be a little narrow. No, they're perfectly my size. It's just they have a lot of toe. They have a lot of toe range. So yeah. So that's when apparently the divorce happened recently. So like 2 months ago, and Elle apparently sent 2 phone calls to her, or voicemails at least, and she was like, "Hey, can we talk? I hope you're doing good. I could really use a word with you." But the main character is really busy being a guitar mechanic or whatever I said before. So yeah. Then before this, she was like, "All right, kids, take my fucking car and buy some pizza. I need to talk to your aunt." And then they go, we get the talk. Then the kids come back, we see some more important stuff. That the gate that they used to get in and out, or they close so they can get in and out, doesn't really work well. And that there's a fucking wood chipper in the garage. Of course, at this point, we get a category 5, no, it's a 5.5 magnitude earthquake. Happens right now. And because of that, it opens a hole in the garage where we see that we got some exposition earlier that says the apartment building was a bank. So this isn't really like a surprise as you think it would be. So we see Danny goes down, they explore, and then the first thing they look into has the fucking Necronomicon. Like, strange, but this is obviously some all magic shit, so it makes sense. They take the Necronomicon. There's also some records, which doesn't really make sense because apparently the audio is from the 1920s. This film takes place in modern day. Before it, the cold open, it said the cold open took a day after the actual movie events. We'll see why later. So yeah, Danny brings up the Necronomicon and the records up to the thing. Cassie was the one. The responsible one was the one holding the pizzas. They dropped it. Forgetting. Well, I didn't really forget that time. I was just really itchy. This is kind of annoying. But whatever. I'm not making a thumbnail of this. I just wanted a nice photo to show off. So yeah. So they're all safe now. But Danny's fucking around with the Necronomicon and the records, and they find out that a couple priests from the 1920s wanted to, decipher the Necronomicon, and they accidentally unleash a spirit. And because the record played it again, the incantation is activated, and the spirit goes to the mother Elle in the elevator, and it just fucking kills her with the cables, because the elevator, Elle's elevator, fucking crashed and malfunctioned because of the spirit. And so Baba Boy wire, and she's dead. And now she's deadite, because I know horror. So yeah, she's a deadite, and this is where shit gets crazy. This is also, I realized this while watching it. I was getting some food. I paused it right here, and this is just the first 30 minutes. The rest of this is fucking puking crazy. And I can't believe I said that, but it's true. Because after terrifying them by throwing some eggs in a pan that were also full of blood, she turns around and throws up some fucking white throw up. Of course, this is when I started eating, so I was not happy. But nothing. I hate throwing up. I'm glad I haven't done it in like over 10 years. So yeah. Okay, so the main character takes the body, tries to go get help, but the stairs were knocked down, and the elevator, of course, is broken as we saw. So yeah. So they're like, alright, this is it, she's dead. They put her on a bed, they put her in her bed, and they're like, rest in peace. A neighbor who was there was like saying a prayer. But well, no, they go, the neighbor and another one, a really old guy, who I thought was going to be like the tenant or no, not a tenant. The tenant is the person who lives there. I thought like, oh, it must be like the landlord, because he looks a lot like a typical landlord. So yeah. What else? Yeah. Okay, they go and try to find the fire escape, but the fire escape, the way to get to it is through a condemned apartment. So they're trying to break their way in, but that's when Elle comes back up. She's now a Deadeye, and she scares everyone. No. She's not up now. They're like, oh, she's fine. Put her in the fucking bath because she's got a fever or whatever. And then the water boils, and then she fucking freaks out, and she's like, this is when she's like, Mommy's with the maggots now. And now she's trying to kill everyone with a shard of broken glass. She goes at the main character first, stabs it through her hand, just stopping it. Then the responsible one comes in, and she's like, stop it, Mom! And she stops, turns around. I think she drops the glass shard at this point, and tackles her, trying to kill her. Well, no, she still has it. She cuts into her face, licks it, cause gotta have more deadites. Then Danny, my absolute hero, comes in with the fucking steel chair, bats her into the other room, and then they're all safe and they go hide away. Of course, now the other neighbors are... I thought my shadow on over there was my cat. Oh my god. I don't like allowing her in here. She likes to bite shit and throw up. So yeah. What? What happened next? I don't know. Something happens, and then they end up. She ends up in the hallway, kills all the neighbors, and she's just stuck out there. But now the responsible one's a Deadeye. So yeah. So she tries to kill the main character. That doesn't work out. Thankfully, after trying to get the other kids, Cass was able to put the fucking sharp wooden stick into her fucking throat. It's not like that. It goes through the back of her head. And now she's seemingly dead for the current time. And Danny wraps her up in a fucking blanket and some rope and leaves her on her bed. So the main character's like, alright, Danny's like, this is all my fault. I found this shit and I took it. And the main character's like, alright, show me. Let me hear it. And Danny's like, no. This all started because I did that. And she's like, oh, I still gotta hear it. but Danny's like, there's no power because the power went out. Of course it did. So yeah. So she listens to the recording because she fucking wired up to a battery. And then Danny hides out with a big old kitchen knife. Of course, at this point, the responsible one's now back as a deadite. And the mother climbs through the vents and gets in, attacks the main character. Danny gets attacked by the responsible one, gets stabbed 2 times in the arm and in the chest. But luckily they set him on fire. And then the responsible one and Danny, well, Danny's definitely dead, but the responsible one's also taken out again. Also, in a skirmish, the main character fights Elle. She gets the scissors, stuffs it in her nose, and now she's out. And now the main character and Cass make their way out, try and get into the apartment with the fire escape, but it doesn't work. But they get a shotgun from the old guy who's dead, because he used it against Elle, and he was gonna use it to break down the door. But Elle's back now, tries to attack them, but the main character shoots off her leg. She's lying on the ground, and now everyone who's dead right now, comes back as a deadite. The 2 kids come over and they're like, our mom, ha 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 ha, like some pricks. And now they're like, dead by dawn. They all start chanting, dead by dawn, you'll all be dead by dawn. So yeah. I forgot to mention, can you guys tell I'm better? I know it's been like 2 weeks since I was like sick, but I'm good now. I'm all good now. Even better, because my voice is hopefully deeper to all of you, because all that coughing and sneezing did a number on my throat. That's what she said. So yeah, Cass and the main character go to the elevator. They're like, fuck it, let's just use it. They do, starts filling up with blood, and the Deadites combine, because, of course, they climb up in the vent again. And then they go, and they just fucking freak out. But thankfully, the main character and Cass, they get to the parking lot. Someone's talking out there. So they get to the parking lot. They get the car. They start it, but it stops. You want to know why? The fucking Deadite combination. So they do a little survival game right now, the main character and Cass. They sneak around trying to get away from the monster. But right as they're about to make it past the gate as it's closing, Cass gets kidnapped, taken to a back of the truck that's connected to the wood chipper. The monsters took a chainsaw that was in there, revved it up, and is about to kill Cass. Chop her head off. The main character gets there with the shotgun. There's 2 bullets left. And just shoots once to be like, hey, back here. And just my shotgun. Fuck you, skeleton. I shouldn't say that. I'm deaf. I love skeletons, man. Stop getting in my way. My shotgun. Ha 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 ha. And then Cass runs up, turns on the machine, and... well, no. The monster turns on the machine, starts trying to pull in the main character. Then Cass turns it off. The main character gets away, and then the monster's right on the tip of the area to go in, and the main character grabs the chainsaw because it also fell, and she's like, turn on the fucking chipper, Cass. She does it, and then she's like, and then all that's left is the remnants of L. And she starts talking some bullshit because she's been doing that the entire time. And she's like, blah, 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 you're a fucking groupie. And she's like, I'm not a groupie. And fucking shoves the chainsaw right into the top of her head, which is the best part. I had the biggest dumb expression on my face. I was like, that was so cool. Oh, that's so awesome. Because it was. I've never seen anyone use a chainsaw like that before. Because I don't particularly like watching horror movies. I don't like watching horror movies most of the time. If it's the right time of day, aka not night or early morning when I'm alone, I like watching horror movies. Only then, after that, it's my own fault if I get scared. So yeah. And now the Deadites are dead. Except for the spirit. The spirit was just roaming around in the garage. So the main character takes Cass. They go, well, not before taking the chainsaw, and they leave. But we get an answer for what happens in the cold open, because apparently a fucking ignoramus ass bitch that lives in the apartment didn't realize what was going on. Not sure what she was doing, especially since she was supposed to take a vacation the day after all that shit happened. She didn't hear any of it. So she was like, la 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 la, nothing bad's happening. I'm going on vacation, going to the fucking lake house with my cousin and my boyfriend. She gets to the fucking garage before she notices anything. And right before she was gonna back up to go and fucking leave, she adjusts the fucking rearview mirror, and she's like, huh? What's that in the corner of my fucking eye right there in the fucking rearview mirror? She looks, and of course there's fucking chunks of human around. Cause that's what happens. If you completely destroy the body or get rid of the Deadite, all that's left is human remains. And she's like, oh no! She doesn't do that. She's just like, fucking crying. Of course, that's when the fucking spirit possesses her, and that's the explanation. She was possessed by the spirit after after what happened in the main movie happens. She gets possessed, she goes to the fucking lake house, and she's basically sick the entire time. Until she becomes a Deadite. So yeah, that was Evil Dead Rise. And yep, absolutely fantastic. I'm tired and I don't want to be in this costume anymore. So yeah, that's about it. Pretty good. I like the setup with the weapons and the fucking whatevers. So yeah. Besides that, check out the description for all my links. I don't have anything else to say besides, I hope you all have a fantastic Halloween. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye!